I think I think I'd better tell you of another man I met last year. Now, there was a very strange feature to this case, and strange because of its extremely rare occurrence. This man had once been brought to the scaffold in the company of several others with the punishment of death by shooting past upon them for some political crime. 20 minutes later, he was reprieved, with some other punishment substituted. But the interval between those two sentences for 20 minutes or at least quarter of an hour had passed with the certainty that he must die. He remembered everything with such extraordinary accuracy and such distinction that he declared he would never forget a single iota of the experience. Uh, about 20 paces from the scaffold, there were three posts fixed to the ground, to which to tie the criminals to. The first three criminals taken to these posts were dressed in long white tunics with white caps drawn over their faces, so that they wouldn't be able to see the rifles pointed at them. Then a group of soldiers took their stand opposite of each post. My friend was the eighth on the list, and so therefore he would have been among the third lot to go up. A priest walked about among them with a cross, and there had been only 5 minutes of time left for him to live. But he said that these 5 minutes had seemed to him the most interminable period, an enormous wealth of time. He seemed to be living within these minutes so many lives that there was no need as to yet think of that last moment. So, he made several arrangements, dividing up time into portions. One for saying farewell to his companions. 2 minutes for that. Then a couple of more minutes for looking into his life, his career, and all about himself. And then one last minute for one final look around. While he was saying farewell to his companions, he remembered asking some very everyday usual question, but being much interested in the answer. And then, having bade farewell, he embarked upon those 2 minutes which he had allotted to himself. He knew beforehand what he was going to think about. He wanted to put it to himself as quickly and clearly as possible that here was he, a living, thinking man. And if in 3 minutes he will be nothing, or if something, or somebody, what, where, who? He thought he would decide upon this question within the last 3 minutes. A little ways off stood a church, and its gilded spire was sparkling in the sun. He remembered staring stubbornly at those rays of light from the spire. He couldn't tear his eyes away from those rays of light. He got this new idea that these rays of light were somehow his new nature, and that within 3 minutes he would become one of them, amalgamated somehow with them. The repugnance, the uncertainty were just dreadful, but the thought of what if I were to not die now? What if I were to return to life again? What an eternity of days. And all mine. What should I do to count up and scrounge every last minute of it so as to waste not a single second? He said that this thought had weighed so heavily upon his brain that he could no longer take it, and that he had wished that they would shoot him quickly and have be done with it. Finished. Yes. Of course, finished.